So, hallo, herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Runde Let's Play Zero Escape. 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. Und ja, ich hatte mich ja letztes Mal vertan. Es gab ja noch einen kleinen Escape Room nach dem, wie heißt's? Dem Steam Engine Room. Jetzt sind wir augenscheinlich in einer Lagerhalle. Ich würde sagen, schauen wir mal, wie das Gespräch weitergeht.
No, I believe this is the cargo room. This must be where they store all of this vessel's freight.
There are wooden crates everywhere. I wonder how old they are.
Junpei, Ace, and June had stopped unconsciously, pausing to take in their new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through the momentary trance.
Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right? Let's get going.
Jo, da geht's jetzt direkt rein. Jo, wir sehen Cargo Room. Wird interessant, hier gibt es auch ein sehr schönes Rätsel an einer Stelle. These crates are quite large. They seem to be tied to one another with sturdy straps. There are a bunch of bags here. I wonder what's in them. Card with a headshot. A card with Clover's face printed on it. What's that? It's a card. It has a headshot on it. A headshot? Yeah? I'm not really sure what purpose this could possibly serve. Ach, jetzt haben wir hier Snake. Ja, Card with Snake's face printed. Man kriegt jetzt bei diesen Karten auch immer nur dasselbe. Ja, es gibt mehr von denen. I don't know what's in these barrels. Judging by their weight, perhaps a liquid of some sort. Was haben wir hier? Ah, Ace. It's Ace's card. You look like some kind of European lord. Oh, my headshot. You wanna see it? It's actually a pretty good picture. No, I don't need to see it. In fact, really ought to go back to our search. Ja, wir haben hier noch mehr von diesen Säcken. Ah. Man, the guy in this card is a good-looking son of a bitch. Way more class than the other, way more class than that other chump. Verdammt, das ist ja Zungenbrecher hier. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Huh? What's your problem? Didn't say I meant you, did I? Shit. Ah, Santa. Ah, der 9. This guy. This card has the 9th man on it. He's the first victim of this nonary game. Actually, come to think of it, he was acting pretty weird. I wonder what his deal was. Na, da können wir hingehen.
I wonder what's inside all these crates. This is the only area with a fence around it.
Junpei, think you could take a look at that? Sorry, but no thanks. Why? I've, got a bad feeling about it. Pussy. Okay, fine. I'll go.
Please be careful, Santa.
Yeah. But just in case. Wait, what's he going to do with that screw? I don't see what throwing a screw at a fence is. Holy shit!
This... Oh man.
There's electricity running through that fence. Looks like it.
Then we can't get to the other side.
Well, we could jump off those crates, but we wouldn't be able to get back. There's a tall fence surrounding part of the cargo room. Apparently there's a high voltage current running through the fence. Fängt ja super an hier. Was haben wir noch hier? Ah, 7. This is 7's card. If this is supposed to be a trading card, it's not a very good one. Ja, nicht, dass der Typ sonst gut aussieht, aber das Bild ist besonders unschön, finde ich. Ah, was haben wir hier? Junpei? Not cool, man. You took this picture without my permission.
It looks pretty cool, though. You look really handsome in this picture.
Hey, knock it off, lovebirds.
What? We're not a couple. Not at all. Not in any way.
There's a pretty cool-looking dude on this card. I can't take my eyes off it. Ja, wen haben wir hier noch? June. This must be...
Oh no! Don't look at it. I'm not cute at all, and I'm not photogenic, and I don't look sexy either. Next to Clover, my skin looks gross. And I'm not sexy like Lotus. I know guys go for women who look like Lotus. But... I'm trying to. I'm doing the best I can. So please, don't call me a board or a trash can or a cutting board.
Wait a minute. I haven't said anything like that, have I? Da habe ich mal einen schönen Begriff gehört. Der nannte sich A-Cup-Angst. Fand ich sehr schön. Ich finde, das beschreibt das gerade sehr gut. Hat wohl eine ein wenig komplexe. We've searched all the boxes. There's nothing in them. There's some sort of liquid in these barrels. I'm not sure what it is, however. Hab ich irgendwo eine... Warte mal, wir haben jetzt... Ja, wir haben 8 Karten. Wir brauchen 9. Gibt's da oben eine? These stairs, they go up 3 stories. What are you waiting for, Junpei? Whatever, I'm going. This the only door here, except for the one we just came in through. Then this is the exit. No shit, Sherlock. Course it's locked. Is it an electronic lock? No, just a keyhole right on the doorknob. So to open this door, we've got to find the key that fits that keyhole. Yeah. Wir können auch höher. Was haben wir denn hier? The monitor's off. I've got a green switch here and a red one, and some kind of lever. None of them seem to do anything though. Maybe the power's off? Yeah, maybe. There's a single green light on the bottom though. That means... some kind of control panel? Looks like it's not powered right now. There's a green light on the bottom though. There are several lights here with numbers from 1 to 9. Only the light with the 9 on it is lit. Können wir im Moment noch nicht lösen. Ich glaube, ich muss mir wirklich das hier direkt mal angucken. It's locked. We need the key. All the boxes have numbers on them. Do they... Oh! Ace bent down and picked up something that had been sitting next to the box. Junpei, take a look at this. Cards. Ah, da lag quasi Lotus' Karte noch neben. There's a picture of Lotus on this card. Man, her hair is ridiculous. It's like clay or something. Says the pot to the kettle. Ja, also da meint wohl Santa, dass sie zu viel Gel im Haar hat oder so, oder irgendein anderes Zeug, Haarspray, was auch immer. Aber wir haben die 9 Karten, können wir wohl irgendwie öffnen.
Now we finally have all 9 picture cards. We just need to insert these cards into the slots at the front of each box.
Junpei stared at the cards in his hand. Ace peered over his shoulder at them.
You know which card goes in which box, yes?
Junpei gave him a look.
Yeah, of course I do. It's really obvious. You just match our numbers to the numbers, then you pop the corresponding card in the right box. So for instance, the card with the picture of Ace on it goes into box 1. The card with the picture of Snake on it goes into box 2, and so on.
Oh, I see.
Huh? What is it?
Junpei thought he might have imagined it, but he could have sworn Ace stiffened.
I'll leave the rest to you.
Hey, wait!
He quickly turned and walked away.
What's wrong with him? Oh well, whatever.
Doing his best to clear his mind for the task at hand, he turned back toward the boxes.
Time to solve the 9 boxes puzzle.
9 cards with pictures and 9 boxes. Ich möchte übrigens sagen, bei diesem Gespräch wäre es etwas anders verlaufen, hätten wir vorher ein anderes Gespräch geführt. Da hätten wir eigentlich in einen anderen Raum gemusst für. Deshalb, das ist der Verlauf, wie man zu den bestimmten Orten kommt, das macht schon einen Unterschied, was dann später weiter passiert. Werdet ihr auch alles noch sehen. Junpei stared at them for a moment and then began.
Ace's card is in box 1, Snake's is in number 2. I just need to do the same for the rest. And finally, the 9th man's card into box 9.
All 9 box lids popped open at once.
Yeah! Oh, they opened!
He peered inside.
What the?
In each box was a single pin.
9 pins?
They looked a little like sewing pins, but much thicker.
I guess I'll take them with me.
Junpei collected them all quickly and shoved them into his pocket. Jetzt haben wir hier 9 Nadeln mit Nummern drauf. Those look like the kind of pins you use for sewing. There are 9 of them in total and they have numbers on them that run from 1 to 9. Wo könnte man diese Nadeln bloß benutzen? Wir erinnern uns, was haben wir hier? There are 6 holes here. And it looks like the pins I just found would be a perfect fit for them. The ones you found in the 9 boxes, right? Well, why don't you try it? Alright, let's see what happens. I think 2, 4 and 6 should go here on the top part, and 9, 5 and 7 on the bottom part. Well, some of them lit up. Yeah, 3 and 6. I wonder if there's some kind of rule that determines which lights go on. Well, I put the 2, 4 and 6 pins on the top part and the 3, 5 and 7 pins on the bottom. Wir können jetzt mal durchgehen. Es ist ja immer sehr viel mit den Quersummen. 2, 4, 6, kommen auf 12, Quersumme 3. Passt. Unten 3, 5, 7, Quersumme, erstmal Summe 15, Quersumme 6. Passt auch. You think maybe it's the digital root? Okay, jetzt hat die Lösung schon verraten quasi. The digital root. Ja, jetzt erklärt das nochmal. The digital root of 12 is 3. Therefore light 3 turns on. 3 plus 5 plus 7 is 15. The digital root of 15 is 6. Therefore light 6 turns on. Makes sense, right? I see. The lights that match the digital root of the pins inserted on the top and lower parts will light up. So that's how it works. Well, there's one other thing I'd like to check. Well, if he wants to try, he's certainly welcome to. So, he'd put the 1, 2 and 3 pins on top, 1, 2 and 3 pins on the top, the 6, 7 and 8 pins on the bottom. Oh. They turned off. Yeah. 6 plus 7 plus 8 is 21. The digital root of 21 is 3. Therefore light 3 turns off. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. The digital root of 6 is 6. Therefore light 6 turns off. Oh, I get it now. The digital root for the pins you insert is the same as the number on the lights that are lit. Those lights turn off. Yeah, looks like that's the trick. Alright, now we know how it works. You wanna give it a try? Wait, you mean you know what we're supposed to do with these lights? Well, no, but I figure we could try and see if we can turn them all on, you know? I figure something's gotta happen if we can manage that. Turn on the lights, huh? Okay, Junpei, let's make sure we know how this works, alright? Pick one of the 6 holes. Then pick one of the pins in your hand and insert it into the hole. Keep it up until all 6 of the holes are filled. Once all the holes are filled, the lights with the numbers that correspond to the digital roots of the pins in the upper and lower parts will turn on. However, if a digital root corresponds to a light that is already on, the light will be turned off. The goal is to turn all the lights on. Alright, let's do it. Und jetzt, es gibt ein ganz einfaches System dafür. Ich gehe es jetzt einfach der Reihe nach durch. Wenn ich jetzt fragt, warum ich 1 und 2 schon nehme, wenn ich die Lichter 1 und 2 anmachen will, ganz einfach. Wenn man eine Quersumme nicht verändern will, muss man quasi einfach eine 9 dazu packen. 10, also hier haben wir 1 plus 3 plus 6, wenn 1 plus 9 haben wir 10, Quersumme von 10 ist 1. Und hier, ich vergesse es immer wieder, tack, ich glaube, das wäre jetzt mit einer Maus schneller. Wir sehen, in dem Fall habe ich jetzt auch eine 9 zu der 2 addiert, kommen wir auf 11, Quersumme von 11 ist 2, passt. Und das mache ich jetzt mit 3 und 4. Das heißt, hier packe ich jetzt eine 1 und eine 8 zu. Hier packe ich eine 2 und eine 7 zu. So, jetzt haben wir noch 5 und 6. Bei 5 nehmen wir jetzt einfach mal wieder 1 und 8. Und hier nehmen wir wieder 2 und 7. Übrigens, diese Regel, das könnt ihr, also das, wenn man 9 addiert, sich die radikale Quersumme nicht ändert, könnt ihr euch mal merken, das könnte vielleicht noch von Bewandtnis sein. Zack, fertig. F. All the lights are on, the shutters opened up. Hey, does that mean? Yeah, we gotta do it again. Man, and I thought I was doing so well. Jetzt haben wir F. Okay, so we've got 9 holes. And there's an F above them. I don't know what the F means, but I do know one thing. What's that? This time there are 9 holes. So we need to insert 9 pins. Man, that's boring. Well, why don't you just try it, alright? Erstmal das F ist wichtig. Wofür könnte das F stehen? Etwas, was wir häufiger schon mal in diesem Spiel haben werden oder hatten, teilweise auch schon. Hexadezimalsystem 15. Das heißt, wir müssen jetzt versuchen, dass jede Linie hier eine 15 ergibt. Das heißt, alle Diagonalen, alle Querverbindungen und so weiter. Das heißt, eigentlich muss man in der Mitte mit einer 5 anfangen. Wenn ich jetzt hier zum Beispiel eine 1 zupacke, muss ich auf der Seite eine 9 nehmen. Jetzt überlege ich gerade. 3 kann ich nicht nehmen an den Stellen. Weil dann würde das mit der 9 sich so ergeben, dass ich noch eine weitere 3 bräuchte. Kann ich nicht machen. Wenn ich jetzt zum Beispiel hier eine 4 nehme, bräuchte ich eine 10. Das geht auch nicht. Wie sieht es mit der 6? Na, 6 geht nicht, das wäre mit der 9 zu hoch. Eine 8 wäre auch zu groß. Also ich muss es jetzt mit der 9 irgendwie... Was ist mit einer 2? Dann habe ich hier zu wenig. Irgendeine Lösung gab es doch. Ich glaube, ich darf die hier nicht diagonal packen. Ich muss die so packen, dann behindern die sich nämlich nicht gegenseitig. So, jetzt probiere ich es nämlich hier mal mit der 8. Und der 6. Das ist jetzt mehr ein Ausprobieren. Könnte aber klappen. 6 und 5 kommen wir auf... Moment. 11, dann brauchen wir hier eine 4 zur 15. Hier kommen wir auf 13, brauchen wir noch eine 2. Passt das? Ja, passt perfekt. 8 und 4 kommen wir auf 12, wir brauchen noch eine 3. Hier 6 und 2 kommen wir auf 8, wir brauchen noch eine 7. Geschafft! Also wenn man das System raus hat und weiß, was man machen muss, ist dieses Rätsel echt einfach. Wenn man halt so grob weiß, wie es funktioniert. There we go. All pins inserted, all lights lit. We did it. The power's on now. It looks like there's electricity going through the monitor on top now. Alright, let's see if we can activate the device on the top. Ja, und jetzt kommen wir zu einem meiner Lieblingsrätsel in diesem Spiel, auch wenn ich dafür ein bisschen brauchen werde. A green button, a red button and a lever. I wonder what these do. I think this might help. What? What the hell is this? Where did you find this? What is that? Where'd you find it? I found it when you were messing around with the pinholes. It looks like the instruction for this thing. According to what it says here, this thing's a remote control for that. That? Yeah, that. What's he pointing? Oh! That machine over there. Apparently it's called the Pushmaster 5000. Are you serious? Whatever. So what are we supposed to do with the Pushmaster 5000? You see the coffin on top of the crates? Yeah? Didn't you want to know what the deal is with it? I do. You want to check it out? Yeah? Alright, how do you think we're gonna get there? Well, there were some crates on the right side of the fence that someone piled up like stairs. Maybe if we make a path to the coffin from there. How would we do that? Line up the crates, I guess. Yeah, that sounds about right. I guess this is just another of the Zero's puzzles. Yeah. Anyway, let's give it a shot. Oh, looks like the Pushmaster 5000 runs off a battery. So to keep it from using up its energy too fast, it's been programmed so that it'll only start moving once its path has been completely programmed in. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. New material has been added to the file screen. Ja, beginnen wir das Spiel. Monitor shows a top-down view of the area and move the machine. Once I want to send my orders to the Pushmaster 5000, I just pull the lever. It's the reset button. It allows me to start over again. Once I want to activate the program, I just pull the lever. Here it comes. Alright, let's give it a try. Sure thing. Just keep in mind that there's a limit on the battery, alright? The battery dies after 50 moves. At least that's what it says in the manual. 50 moves, huh? Also, keep in mind that the Pushmaster 5000 can't move the heavy metal crates, okay? Got it. Instructions for operation. When a square adjacent to the Pushmaster 5000 is pressed, the Pushmaster 5000 will move to that square. If there's a crate in the way, the Pushmaster 5000 will push up to a single crate. Move the crates appropriately and efficiently and fill the yellow areas. Ja, jetzt müssen wir also versuchen, das hinzukriegen. Es ist nicht ganz einfach. Ich muss überlegen, wie habe ich das gemacht? Ich kann zum Beispiel keinen von den beiden in eine Ecke stoßen, weil sobald die in der Ecke sind, kann ich sie nicht mehr benutzen. Ich glaube, damit kann ich arbeiten, ich bin mir aber nicht sicher. Ah, nee, ich habe einen Fehler. Ach, es gibt Hint? Ja. Ach nee, das sagt einem einfach nur, wie es weitergeht. Ich habe mich nur gewundert. Aber nee, ich muss es resetten. Muss ich vielleicht eher auf dieser Seite anfangen? Ich habe eine Idee, wie das klappen könnte. Aber ich bin mir nicht sicher, ob es klappt. Ah, nee, mir fällt was auf. Ich habe einen Fehler drin. Glaube ich. Ja, ich habe einen Fehler. Ich muss zuerst eins auf dieses Feld kriegen. Wenn ihr euch fragt, warum, das ist eine sehr einfache Sache, weil von hier aus kann ich das Ding nach oben oder unten schieben und ansonsten komme ich nämlich nicht auf dieses Feld. Dieses Feld ist nur erreichbar von dieser Stelle. Warum? Ganz einfach. Von hier oben müsste ich von hier drücken, kann ich nicht. Von hier müsste ich von hier drücken, kann ich auch nicht. Also muss ich es erstmal schaffen, eine dahin zu bewegen. Da bietet sich die hier an. Oder vielleicht auch ein bisschen anders. Kann sein, dass man das so machen muss. Und quasi einmal von hinten dazu kommen muss. Ich kann die eigentlich schon mal hier hinschieben. Ich hoffe, dass die Bewegungen dafür ausreichen. Ah, nee, ich habe einen Fehler, ich Idiot. Weil jetzt komme ich nicht mehr hier hin. Reset. Ich muss oben anfangen, glaube ich. Dann passt's. So. Den kann ich einfach dahin schieben. Den schiebe ich noch dahin. So. Ja, die Anzahl Bewegungen müsste sogar noch reichen, ja. Ha, geschafft. Noch 4 Moves übrig. Okay, I'm done putting in the program. What do I do next? Just be quiet and watch. See, it's moving already. Oh, Animation. Ich trinke mal kurz einen Schluck. Awesome, the Pushmaster 5000 did just what I told it to and lined up all the crates. Great, now we can reach the coffin. We just need to climb those crates over by the fence. Ja, mit anderen Worten, wir haben jetzt die Möglichkeit auch wieder zurückzukommen, wenn wir runter, also wenn wir auf der anderen Seite runterkommen.
Mummy!
Oh.
Just kidding.
Really?
Whatever. Just open it.
Okay, okay.
A small key and... a gun?
Yeah, a revolver.
It looks pretty old.
I wonder if this is a replica.
This thing is... Are these real bullets? Oh, if this is real... Oh.
Also
You're not gonna take it?
ziemlich interessanter Revolver vom Aussehen her. Also sehr fancy.
Of course not. All something like this is gonna do is cause more trouble. It's a powerful weapon that gives one person a huge advantage. Something like that would be way too dangerous to have around. We're in enough danger already.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Maybe Zero put this gun here, hoping that something like that might happen. In other words, maybe he put it here to make us fight each other.
In that case, we should most certainly leave it here.
Oh, ich sehe
I,
gerade,
for
wir
one,
sind...
have no desire to let Zero control me.
Ich sehe gerade, wir sind die ganze Zeit im Adventure Screen. Novel Screen, gab's da irgendwas? Ach ja. Da kann ich jetzt nochmal kurz durchgehen, was habe ich denn alles verpasst? They walked slowly past the row of crates until they came to the coffin. They stopped and nodded to one another and Junpei put his hand on the lid of the coffin. Dann gab es die Sache mit Santa's witz. He smirked heartily at his own joke. Junpei resisted the urge to remind Santa that he would have had it open a long time ago if Santa hadn't interrupted, and quickly threw off the lid of the coffin. They peered inside. Contrary to what they'd expected, the inside of the coffin was quite large. It was mostly empty, but not completely, so laying on the bottom was a rusty key, and next to the key, gun, Junpei reached down slowly and cautiously picked up the revolver. In his hand it felt heavy. Then, okay, as Ace has said, the gun was a very old one, however it appeared to have been well maintained. If it was a real gun, Junpei thought it would most likely function perfectly. If it was real. Holding the gun made Junpei feel unpleasant. Carefully he placed it back in the coffin. So, da waren wir.
Me neither.
The others nodded. They had no desire to be under Zero's control either.
Okay, we've got that figured out. But you aren't gonna leave that key in there, are you?
Of course not. We'll take that with us.
Junpei picked up the rusty key and slid the top of the coffin back into place, the gun back where they had found it. Rostiger Schlüssel. Rusty key. Maybe I can use this. So, wir können wieder raus. Also wir haben damit jetzt den Raum quasi abgeschlossen. Let's just put this key in here and yes, sounds like that did it.
Yay! Looks like it's open, Jumpy.
I see. This key should open this door. Hey, what are you waiting for? Let's go! Yes, it's opening. Ja, der Escape Room war jetzt ja doch eigentlich von einer guten Länge. Halbe Stunde für gebraucht, aber jetzt, das war jetzt definitiv der letzte vor dem Ende. Und ich denke, ja komm, das Ende nehme ich noch in die Folge. The hallway that left the cargo room headed straight toward the stern.
A long hallway, huh?
Let's check it out.
Junpei and the other three proceeded down it silently. Some distance along it, a large room opened up on the left-hand side. It looked familiar. An iron grate covered each of the elevators. Junpei and his companions drew to a stop and began to discuss what their next move should be.
We've seen this elevator before.
We got off the one on the left just a little while ago.
Then we went through the number 6 door, and that took us to the engine room.
Yes, and after that we passed through the cargo room.
And now we're back here.
In other words, we made a loop. We're back where we started.
Junpei approached the elevator.
We needed a card to get to this point.
I don't see a card reader here.
Perhaps we aren't able to activate it from this location.
Why don't you just try pushing the button?
Yeah.
Gently he pushed the triangular button on the wall. A moment passed.
It works.
The elevator door opened and then eventually shut again.
I think so.
Pushing the button had apparently restored power to the elevator.
Good. Now we can go back if we need to.
What do we do? Should we return to C deck?
No, this hallway keeps going. Even if we do end up going back, I think we should see what's down there first.
I agree. Let's go.
The decision made, Junpei and his companions left the elevators behind and continued down the hallway. Sometime later,
Looks like it ends here.
Santa, who had been walking several paces in front of the rest, suddenly stopped.
Only one door.
They searched around just in case.
There isn't anything else. It's the only way to go.
It was the door or nothing.
All right, let's open it.
Junpei took a deep breath, readied himself, then grabbed the doorknob and pulled the door open. He paused for a moment, then stepped through into the room. And there he saw the number that had hung over their heads since they'd woken up. 9.
The 9 door.
Like the numbers on every other door, this one, too, was a rough shape made of red paint. Its door was set into the back wall of the room. Junpei leapt toward it with a sudden burst of hopeful energy. It was a large double door, heavy and full of solemn importance. He grabbed the door handle and shook.
Of course it wouldn't be that easy.
The red sat on the wall next to the door. Displayed on it,
Vacant. Huh. We finally found it.
Junpei felt himself overwhelmed by a torrent of emotion. At last they'd found the exit, but cold gripped his heart, and he knew all too well why. As he stood frozen, unsure of what to think or feel,
Jumpy!
Huh?
Look! Behind you!
he spun around and couldn't believe what he saw.
What? A 9 door. There's another one.
Ja, es gibt 2 Türen mit der 9.
Why?
Junpei's voice was barely audible even to himself. He stumbled toward the second door, as if somehow compelled. It was a small single door. It sat in the starboard corner of the room, on the same wall as the door they'd entered from, but in the opposite corner.
It's 9, no matter how you look at it. The red is there too. So this is a real one?
Junpei shook the door handle pointlessly and muttered to himself.
Why? Why the hell are there 2 doors?
It was Santa who answered.
There were always 2 doors. I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only 1 door with a 9 on it.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Of course, we just assumed that there was only 1. After all, why would there be more than 1?
Oh, man.
We fell for it. There are 2 doors. That means that all 9 people who had met at the central staircase could escape. No one would be left behind. Now it makes sense why the bracelets are numbers. 1 through 9. Divided into teams of 4 and 5 people. The digital root of both teams ends up being 9. Take 1278 and 34569 for example. The digital root for both teams would be 9. Or 2349 and 15678. The digital root is still 9. There are a bunch of combinations that work and they all end up the same way. If one team has the digital root of 9, so would the other one.
Da hat er eine mathematische Gesetzmäßigkeit erkannt. Es ist aber auch eigentlich relativ einfach. Wenn die Quersumme von einer Zahl 9 ist sie durch 9 teilbar. Umgekehrt ist also eine Zahl, die durch 9 teilbar ist, also das ist eine Regelmäßigkeit von allen durch 9 teilbaren Zahlen. Und wenn wir unsere Sache betrachten, wir haben mit der Gesamtanzahl an Leuten, Moment, 9 und 4 Paare, die 9 ergeben, kommen wir auf 45 als Gesamtzahl. 45 ist durch 9 teilbar. Wenn wir nun weitere durch 9 teilbare Zahlen abzwacken, bleibt immer auch eine andere durch 9 teilbare Zahl zurück. Ist ja klar. Wenn wir 5 mal 9 am Anfang haben und nehmen 2 mal 9 weg, bleiben natürlich 3 mal 9 übrig. Entsprechend ist die Quersumme immer noch 9. Oder zumindest durch 9 teilbar. Und wenn die Quersumme durch 9 teilbar ist, kann man natürlich die radikale Quersumme weiterrechnen und man kommt dann immer wieder auf die 9.
What does that mean? The answer's simple. From the very beginning, the nonary game was designed to save all 9 people. That's how it was meant to be. Zero didn't lie. He never said there'd be only one 9 door. But anyone who'd found themselves in the game would have assumed that was the case. Fights would have broken out. One team would likely betray or deceive the other. Someone might be hurt. Someone might get killed. But eventually, they'd reach this very same room and realize how pointless all their infighting was. There were 2 doors. There was no need to kill each other.
Und das ist eine ziemlich üble Erkenntnis. Nicht, dass er selbst wen getötet hätte. Aber das sagt schon was aus. They'd understand and be appalled, overwhelmed with guilt at what they'd done.
This game was designed for that purpose. This nonary game. We were all arguing and fighting over doors at the beginning. But if there had been one slip-up, one tiny mistake that led to more, everything could have been so much worse now.
The thought of it sent a chill down his spine.
So, what are we going to do, Junpei?
A voice broke through Junpei's frantic thoughts. Santa's voice.
Oh, right.
Hey, keep it together, man.
Sorry.
Jeez. So what do we do?
What do you...
We need to think about our next step.
Our numbers are 1, 3, 5, and 6. That's a digital root of 6.
The 4 of us can't open the number 9 door.
The 4. Wait, don't tell me.
Yep. There's one combination that'll let 3 of us open the 9 door. That's why I'm asking, what now?
What now?
It took him no time at all to determine the answer. There was only one combination of 3 people that would give a digital root of 9. 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9. That would mean,
No, we gotta go back.
in dem Fall würden sie June zurücklassen. That wasn't a possibility he was willing to consider. Santa and Ace agreed.
Yep.
I agree. We cannot leave June behind.
Junpei let out a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding.
Are you sure? I don't mind staying.
June's body betrayed her true feelings. Her eyes were wet with the beginnings of tears, and her legs shook.
It's okay. There's no way we'd leave you behind.
Santa had said what Junpei had known the moment he realized which 3 people could go through the door.
Besides, I'd rather drown at the bottom of the ocean than escape with this sausage fest. Maybe I'll get to go to Atlanta.
Are you sure you don't mean Atlantis?
Huh? Oh, right.
Perhaps it was the sudden reassurance that no one wanted to leave June behind, but Junpei laughed harder than he had in some time. Santa and Ace smiled.
You guys.
June blinked tears from her eyes and bit her lip. She didn't seem to know what else to say.
Very well. Best we head back to C-Deck then. We should be able to take the elevator we passed earlier. Perhaps Clover, Seven, and Lotus will have returned from door 1.
Even as Ace spoke, they knew finding the others wouldn't improve the situation.
But even with all 7 of us,
Ace knew it. They all knew it.
Standing around here isn't going to accomplish anything, don't you agree? Let's find the other 3 first, and then search for another solution.
I guess you're right.
All right, let's go.
Ace looked at all 3 of them, then turned and headed through the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Santa and June followed.
Huh.
Junpei started toward the door, then stopped.
Come to think of it, what is this room?
It didn't seem terribly important now, but what exactly was it?
We were so focused on the doors, we didn't even look around.
A red carpet ran between 2 columns of wooden benches that ran the length of the room.
Huh. It looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony. But what kind?
Facing the 9 door was the carpet leading to the bow of the ship. And at the end... Was it an altar, perhaps? There was a small rectangular alcove at the end of the carpet, and inside the alcove was a raised platform. Resting on top of the platform was a coffin.
Huh. A coffin? What on earth is a coffin doing in a place like this?
But before Junpei had time to answer that question...
Hey, Junpei! The hell are you doing? Let's move!
Santa's voice echoed in from the hall outside.
Right, okay. I'll be right there.
Junpei turned on his heel and left the quiet, somber room. Tja, was hat das wohl zu bedeuten? They took the elevator up to C-Deck. Once there, they headed back toward the main hall and the central staircase. It didn't take them long.
Look, it's...
7 and Lotus.
They didn't look happy.
We've got a problem.
Clover is gone.
What?
Junpei and his 3 companions looked at one another. He turned back to Seven and Lotus.
What do you mean, gone?
Santa, Ace, and June had their own questions to ask.
When?
Why?
You two went into door 1 with Clover, didn't you?
Seven and Lotus responded as best as they could.
Yeah, we went through the door together.
But Clover barely spoke to us.
She just did her own thing the whole time.
There were 4 rooms on the other side of door 1.
She wouldn't let us into the 4th room.
She just said, I'll take care of this one.
And shut the door.
She must have blocked it with something on the other side.
We waited for a while, but Clover didn't come out.
We called for her, but she didn't answer.
So I kicked down the door and we went into the room.
But
It was empty.
Clover wasn't there.
There was a door on the other wall.
And it was open.
We figure she opened the door and left by herself.
We ran after her, of course, but
Well, obviously we didn't find her, if you figured that much out.
Clover's gone.
Junpei thought for a moment.
When did this happen?
We got here just before you.
You certainly have excellent timing.
So you haven't searched anywhere other than near the staircase?
No, we haven't.
Finally, Ace spoke. His voice had an edge of resolve and concern.
Very well then. We'd best separate and look for Clover. We haven't much time left. Let's begin.
Yeah.
There were quick nods all around, and the 6 remaining players spread out. Junpei and June ran into the central hospital room and looked around.
She's not here.
No, she isn't.
They searched a little longer, but with no luck. They couldn't find Clover.
There's no sign of her. Let's go.
Finally, they gave up and left the central hospital room. Slowly, they made their way back to the hallway. At last, they reached the stairs and Junpei spoke.
All right. I'm thinking we should probably split up. I'll head back to the stairs and take the elevator down to E deck. June, you can take the stairs up to B deck.
All right, that sounds good. But,
What?
could you stop calling me by that code name when we're alone?
Huh? Sure, right. I'll do that.
There was a reason Junpei persisted in calling her June even when they were alone. Although perhaps not the best reason. He was embarrassed to call her by the nickname... Ich muss mich kurz räuspern. He was embarrassed to call her by the nickname he'd used when they were children. Kani. Ich weiß nicht, was der japanische Originalspitzname ist, also Entschuldigung. 9 years ago it came naturally. After all, they were children. But now that they were adults, it felt strange. Regardless of what you might hope for, to call a woman he wasn't dating by such a childish nickname felt odd to him. Of course, to call her Miss Kurashiki would be an even more awkward, and simply Kurashiki would seem a little brusque. Also, das ist jetzt was mit der japanischen Anrede, schätze ich, weil normalerweise wahrscheinlich ist bei Kani das eigentlich Kane-chan gewesen. Oder Akane-chan, also ein Spitzname in Verniedlichung. Und dann Miss Kurashiki wäre Kurashiki-san, was eine Standardanrede ist für Leute, die man eigentlich nicht kennt. Und nur Kurashiki ist sehr, wie soll man sagen, wenn man jemanden ohne eine Anrede anspricht, ist das was relativ, man tritt da mit jemandem relativ nah, allerdings ist der Nachname immer noch so ein bisschen distanziert. Also so wie ich es bisher verstanden habe. Ich bin kein Experte im Japanischen, aber so, das ist so grob mein Kenntnisstand. And although he couldn't put his finger on why, it felt somewhat forward to call her Akane when they hadn't seen another for so long. Ja, nur Akane, ohne irgendeine Endung dran, ist auch wieder was wirklich sagt, wir sind enge Freunde. Oder man will jemanden beleidigen, das gibt's dann auch. Also, dass man dann keine Endung verwendet. Aber es ist eben jemandem sehr nahe treten. In short, it was simply easier for him to call her June and leave it at that.
Jumpy.
Oh, no, it's nothing.
All right, I'm going then.
Yeah, be careful, Kane.
June, or perhaps more appropriately Kani, blushed and smiled.
You be careful too, Jumpy.
Yeah, got it.
Junpei looked after her for a moment as she ran up the stairs, then turned around and took off for the hallway. Tragedy always strikes when one least expects it. But to wait for a man to stand before striking him down seems almost crueler than dealing the fatal blow while he lies on the ground. A light in the dark place, June's smile had given him hope, both for escape and possibly for something else. It was that hope that raised his spirits just enough that they might soon be fully dashed. He opened the elevator door, and there she was. A woman sat, slouched against the wall. Lotus. Junpei felt his blood turn to ice. Her body was limp, and her skin, smooth and pale as always, was covered in bright red blood. Junpei felt his chest constrict. He couldn't breathe, and his legs began to shake. A slow, cold drop of sweat trickled down his back. He felt his stomach somersault. Junpei's mind went blank, all his thoughts replaced with endless hissing white. Driven by little more than instinct, he began to walk toward Lotus, slowly. Each slow movement of his stiff limbs brought him closer to her corpse. Finally, he stood next to her. Robotically, he bent down and put his hand against her neck. There was no pulse, no rise and fall of breathing. She was slightly warm. Something, somewhere in Junpei's shaken mind, told him that meant she had been killed recently. Yes, Junpei thought, his mind slowly returning, she had been killed. Someone had killed her. There was a deep cut on the left side of her chest. Blood still oozed from it, although clearly her heart had stopped beating some time ago. The weapon had been a knife then. Perhaps she had been stabbed in the heart once. She would have died immediately. He took little comfort from knowing she must have suffered very little. Only then did Junpei notice Lotus's bracelet was gone.
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. Lord Hartley reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or the backside of the mirror's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
What? Was that why the killer had ended Lotus's life? So that they might have the number 8 bracelet? If that was true, then the killer was whoever wanted the number 8 bracelet. Or perhaps more accurately, the person who would gain the most by obtaining bracelet number 8. Who was that? Who would benefit the most from the number 8 bracelet? The thought had only just entered Junpei's mind when he heard a noise. A sound like a sharp knife cutting through wet meat. It struck him as strange that the noise came from inside his own body. A moment later, the pain hit him. It wasn't merely pain, there was heat, extreme heat as well. He felt as though molten iron had been splashed against the side of his body. Finally, his brain made the connection. He had been stabbed. But where? His body was quickly going numb. He couldn't tell where the knife had met his flesh. Given the circumstances, however, he had most likely been stabbed in the back. Whoever had killed Lotus had now done the same to Junpei as well. His voice was little more than a weak groan. With what little strength he had left, Junpei turned his body, trying to catch a glimpse of his attacker. But as he did, the knife dug itself in deeper, twisting viciously. He collapsed to the floor, a puppet with its strings cut. His arms and legs lay where they fell, oddly twisted and awkwardly positioned. Junpei's body was entirely numb. He could feel the blood leaking out of him, but nothing would move. Nothing save his eyes. As he lay on the floor, his life ebbing away, Junpei finally saw his attacker. 2 tiny images of the killer reflected in his eyes. With that recognition came nothing. He felt no emotions, not anger, not sadness, not regret. The paralysis that had claimed his body had reached his mind. His killer glanced down at his body. Then, without a word, climbed into the elevator and was gone. His eyesight began to fade, the world grew blurry and began to dissolve into an empty, white fog. The fog crept into the edges of his mind and worked inexorably inward. Soon, it swallowed up the last that remained of Junpei's mind, and his consciousness left him. There was nothing more. Into utter emptiness he fell, into zero. Whatever Junpei had been was gone. Bad End. Wie man sieht, wir haben als erstes Ende natürlich ein schlechtes Ende bekommen. Aber so läuft's halt. Stellt sich die Frage, wer war der Mörder? Wer hat Lotus umgebracht? Und, na gut, das ist höchstwahrscheinlich dieselbe Person, die Junpei jetzt umgebracht hat, nehme ich an. Stellt sich nur die Frage, wer war das? Und warum hat er Lotus' Bracelet, Armband mitgenommen? Wer würde von der 8 am meisten profitieren? Denn man braucht ja sowieso mindestens 3 Leute, um eine Tür zu öffnen. Das ist ja auch wieder eine wichtige Sache. Also, damit haben wir ein bestimmtes Ende freigeschaltet. You've reached one ending. This game has multiple endings. In order to experience all the endings, you need to play through the game multiple times. Make sure to save your progress now to retain all information you've acquired. Memory of Escape has been added to the title screen. Memory of Escape enables you to replay the escape rooms you have completed. So, ich habe einfach 2 Speicherstände, einfach um sicherzustellen, dass die Aufnahme geklappt hat. Und jetzt haben wir das sogenannte Knife Ending, wie man oben sehen kann. Und das hier ist Flowchart. Wer sich jetzt fragt, was ist das denn? Ja, das ist der Storyverlauf. Und wir sehen hier Schlüsselsymbole. Und hier sehen wir wieder Schlüsselsymbole, und zwar durchgestrichene. Das heißt, wenn man diesen Weg richtig geht, gibt es hier ein alternatives Ende. Und das ist sogar ein sehr wichtiges Ende. Das werde ich definitiv als das vorletzte Ende zeigen, weil das ein ganz wichtiges, besonderes Ende ist, das man sehen muss, bevor man das wahre Ende finden kann. Was diese Schlüsselszenen eigentlich angeht, das sind wirklich Szenen, die kriegt man nur, wenn man die Vorarbeit geleistet hat. Und die eine Vorarbeit ist zum Beispiel hier, dass wir durch die andere Tür hätten gehen müssen. Was wir als nächstes machen, ja, das werde ich überlegen. Also, ich hoffe, ihr hattet weiterhin Spaß. Lasst konstruktive Kritik, vielleicht ein Däumchen nach oben da. Und ja, Theorien, wer ist der große Böse, wer ist der Mörder, wer ist Zero, wer ist was weiß ich. Ist Zero der Mörder in den Situationen? Ist ja auch eine Frage. Oder war es jemand anders? Waren es vielleicht mehrere? Ihr könnt euch in den Kommentaren austoben. Ich hoffe auch, dass ihr das echt tut. Ich bin da echt gespannt drauf. Und ich selbst weiß ja, wer jetzt was getan hat und warum und ja. Ich möchte nur kurz sagen, das ist nicht das einzige Ende, in dem Junpei stirbt. Das hier ist halt das klassische, also wie gesagt, das Bad End Knife. Es gibt noch ein paar weitere. Wir werden sie alle sehen. Und dann kommen irgendwann die guten Enden. Aber dann erstmal bis zum nächsten Mal. Cheerio!